Hey YouTube people, my name is CoolPaws96 and today I want to talk about taking a trip down memory lane. I want to talk about a website that I was completely obsessed with, and I mean obsessed with when I was growing up. I want to talk about Poptropica. And I know I probably said the name wrong, but that's just how I've always said it, so force of habit. Now, Poptropica was created by Jeff Kinney and released online in September of 2007. Yes, that very same Jeff Kinney who created the Diary of a Wimpy Kid books, another book series I was obsessed with growing up, and also watched the movies. Just, we don't talk about that movie, that doesn't exist. But aside from that, so Poptropica is a website that is still currently active. It does shut down on its former original site though, because they were moving away from Flash games when that got kind of taken down about a couple years ago. But now they are on Cool Math Games, which went up last year. So they did shut down for a brief time back in February of 2024, just last year. But again, they came back on Cool Math Games, so the website is still currently active, which I'm really happy about. And to be honest, this is what my character avatar has looked like for well over 10 years now, which really proves how old I am. I was 11 years old when that website was released because it came out in 2007, which really shows my age. Yeah, I'm turning 29 this year. I feel old and I don't like that. But aside from that, Poptropica was a lot of fun growing up. For me, when I was growing up, I spent countless hours on that website alone. And I remember the first time I went on it, I was in middle school and my grade 6 class was in our school library. At the time we were doing something with the computers for some kind of school project. I can't really remember what for, but some of the people from my class that I was sitting next to, they were on the website. There was about around 5 of them that were on the website on like the computers they were using, and I'm like, what are you guys doing? So they were like, hey, this is what we're doing, and I'm like, oh, that looks like fun. So I went on it, and that's actually kind of how I got my online name, CoolPaws96. My Poptropica name was just called CoolPaws6. I just clicked the randomizer button and I liked CoolPaws6. I liked how that sounded, so I kept that. And how I got the Z at the end was, now if you're Canadian, you're gonna understand what I'm talking about. When I was in, I think, middle school as well, I was creating a teletoon.com account and it needed to have certain characteristics, like, you know, when you go to make a password and stuff like that, which is really annoying. But I just thought about it in a Z at the end, and it also needed some numbers, so I thought, I don't know, 96, it was the only number I could think of. So that's pretty much how I got my name, was to start from Poptropica. It started off as CoolPaws6. And again, this is what my avatar looks like. Now, the way my avatar looks in the website is literally items that you cannot get anymore on that website anywhere. Because a lot of the original islands from Poptropica have sadly aren't really much there anymore, because when Flash games or like the mechanics, I'm sorry, I'm not really good with technology, but when the Adobe Flash games was being taken down, Poptropica was trying to move away from that, so they ended up taking down a lot of the original islands, which really sucked because I loved them. My favorite one specifically, was the superhero one, mainly because I had the ability to fly, and if I ever had a superpower, that's what I always wanted, which is kind of ironic because I have a really bad fear of heights. I know, irony at its best. But it was so much fun. They had the superhero island, Greek mythology island. There was this one where you had to figure out, like, it was like this apocalyptic looking island from like rabbits or something, with a mad scientist being dressed as a rabbit or something like that. And there was this, they even had one where you had like their own twist on Survivor, which I really liked. I think I only won that once, now that I think about it. but oh my gosh, just thinking about it, it was just so much fun to play when I was a kid growing up. I still log in once in a blue moon every now and then on my phone to see if my account is still active, and thankfully yes. And I don't know if it's still available or not, but when I was growing up on Poptropica, you used to be able to go into these certain places on different sections of like each island, and where you can meet up with like all these other players that were in the game as well, and you can talk to them or play these mini games with them. And my particular favorite game was the skydive game. And for those of you who remember, then you'll probably know where I'm going with this. Now, for the skydive game, you jumped off the cloud and you had to click your parachute right before you smacked into the ground. But if you smacked right into the ground, you lost. But if you landed before the other player, like you deployed your parachute at the time, sorry if I mistermed that wrong, then you won. Or sometimes it resulted in a tie or both of you losing, but it was so much fun. That was honestly my favorite minigame. I know there was a lot of other ones. I think there was one where you had to shoot basketballs in the hoop from like a certain time frame. I think that was one of them. But the skydiving game was mainly the one that I played the most. And I know I'm gonna sound like I'm gloating and bragging and all that, but back then I got so good at that skydiving game that when I would try to ask players if they wanted to play with me, they'd be like, no, because I was that good. And again, I'm sorry, actually, I know I'm sounding like I'm bragging and all that, but how often does that happen for someone? I mean, even when I wouldn't even try to ask the players to be like, hey, do you want to play this game with me? Like, sometimes I would just try to strike up a conversation with somebody because they would give you random options to be like, what to talk about. And so a lot of the time, other players would see me coming and they'd be like, nope. And they just walk or run or jump away. Oh man, that was so much fun. Again, I know I've sounded like I'm bragging, but that never really happened to me much before, so I'm just riding off that high, as bad as that sounds. Oh my gosh, but Poptropica, it was so much fun to play with, and especially I remember when the first Star Raven Wimpy Kid movie was coming out, I was so fucking excited. I really was, because I was obsessed with that book series as well when I was growing up, and I only read up until the purple book. I can't remember what the name of it was. I'm just gonna put a reference picture right here for after, but I loved reading those books, and I watched those movies countless times. Especially the first one, like the first book and the first movie, they're always gonna be my favorite. I don't know why, I just felt like it was a really great introduction into the series, and it's such a nostalgia trip for me in general. Oh my gosh, Poptropica. It is completely different now than obviously how it was back then. Now they have online memberships and of course online currency, which costs real money, which is honestly really annoying. And a lot of the characterization options definitely have changed, because I know when I used to go on it when I was growing up, you used to be able to click on a player and then I think you had to click on something else, and then the screen would pop up, or your avatar and the other person's avatar would pop up, and you can take different things from their outfits and put it onto your avatar. And that's what I did with my NPC, which is why she still looks the way she does, because again, you can't even get that anymore. And especially on my avatar, again, pop up right here, during I believe this is back in 2010, I think 2009 2010, so I was about, I'll just say 2010 to make it easier. So I was 14 that year, depending on what month, because my birthday's kind of later in the year. So I was pretty much, I'll just say 14 to make it easier. So I was 14 back in 2010, and there was a Diary of a Wimpy Kid Island that was coming out because of the movie. So it was like a big promotion thing. And if you are fans of the book series, then you guys know where I'm gonna go with this. So there was a place where you can get a shirt for your character that said loaded diaper, which is the name of the band Roderick is in. And for those of you who don't know, Roderick is the older brother of Greg Heffley, who's the main character of the book series. And even though my character still has the loaded diaper shirt on, because again, you can't get that anymore, it got blurred out. I'm not kidding. Like, if you zoom into my avatar character picture, they just blurred it out. Why? I have no idea. It's not really inappropriate or anything. Like, it's from a kid's book series, so I don't really know why it got blurred out. Again, it's not inappropriate or anything. I mean, diapers get loaded. You know, that's what they're there for. I just find that really weird. But one thing I really fought to keep on my character was the spiky purple black hair. That was a really hard one for me to keep because I would customize my character a lot. Like, if I saw something, I'm like, I want to put that on my character, so I would. And when I realized that I wanted to bring that back, that hairstyle, I noticed that it was starting to kind of slowly go away over time, and I'm like, well, I gotta find that. So it took me a while at one point, but I did find it, and I kept it on my character ever since. And you can't even get that. You can't even get those wings anymore. I can't even remember where I got them from. I think it was from like an NPC or some other character. Honestly, I really can't remember where. But yeah, my character avatar, or whatever you want to call him, it really shows what Poptropica was like back then. Like I said earlier, I log in every once in a blue moon now and then to see my account is still active, and thankfully it is. And it's been, how many years? Holy shit, this year will be 18 years. 18 years since my account's been active. I'm going almost 2 decades on there, and I'm just, wow, I really feel old, and I don't like that. I really don't. Oh man, holy fuck. But it's just really crazy kind of going back in time, and, well, not going back in time, but like taken that trip down memory lane. And even when I would see like YouTube videos of Poptropica players just having fun on there, it just brought me back to a simpler time when I was growing up and being on that website all the time, and it was just so much fun. I kind of wish that they would bring back the original islands. I don't really know if they have or not, because I have a hard time like with it when I use it on my phone, and it just doesn't really feel the same to me anymore. I mean, like, I know things change over time, but it just really does not feel the same. But that's just me speaking. I am glad that there are still a lot of people who use that website and still have fun with it. I am really glad about that, because it was like a really big part of my childhood. Sorry, rant over. I think that's all I wanted to talk about for today, but I just really want to thank you guys for taking the time out of your busy schedules to watch this, and please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you guys used to play or are still currently on Poptropica, what do your characters look like? I'm kind of curious. Like, what is one thing that you used to do in Poptropica that, say, isn't around anymore? Like, do any of you watching this used to go on it when you were growing up from like the late 2000s and onward? Like, what do you guys think of it overall? Let me know down in the comments. I'd love to hear your opinions. And again, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. I hope you guys have a safe, fantastic, wonderful day, and I will see you whenever I upload my next video. Bye!